Good morning, student. Today we will start discuss about the case study questions. This is the latest pattern CBSE has given this year that we will have for grade 10. We will have 4 case study questions of 4 marks each. So today I have picked these 2 questions from CBSE sample paper only, the latest one, and we'll discuss this. Okay. The first one, what do you mean by case study questions is they will give you a study about, like in this one, they already give you a study. If you have noticed, all these underpasses and overpasses, highways are of the shape like this. This shape is known as a parabola, which always comes like this, and which we get when we plot a graph for a quadratic polynomial. You always get a parabolic shape. Depending upon the values of ABC, the shapes are different, but any shape like this one is known as a parabola, which is called concave up parabola, and this one is known as a concave down parabola. So for now, for this year, you just need to know for this study that this line which is passing through the center, this point, this one, the minimum point or the maximum point of the parabola is known as the vertex, and the line which passes through this, or we call, about which the parabola is symmetric, that is known as the axis or the axis of the parabola. You do have the shapes like this also. We do have parabolic shapes like this also. If you will do these in grade 11 in detail, one like this and another one like this. So for different quadratic functions, we have different kinds of shapes of parabola, but they all have, I mean, you will see that they are symmetric to one line. This point is the vertex, so they are the parabolic shape. So right now what we are discussing here is, the first question is, if the highway overpass is represented by this, then the zeros. So right now we have to just discuss about the zeros of this quadratic polynomial. Of course, we already know that the curve, it is a curve and it is represented by a quadratic polynomial. But finding out the zeros of a quadratic polynomial is not a problem. So x square minus 2x minus 8, we already know. How do we do it? We put it equal to 0 to find out the values. Okay, so we split it. X square minus the product of 4 and 2 will give you 8. So minus 4x plus 2x. I am assuming that you all are comfortable with splitting of the middle term that we are using right now. So x into x minus 4 plus 2 into x minus 4 equal to 0. So x plus 2 multiplied by x minus 4 equal to 0. So the values, the zeros of this polynomial, what are zeros? Let me repeat. Zeros are those values of x for which the polynomial will be 0. That is why we have equated it to 0. Now product of two things 0 implies either x plus 2 equal to 0 or x minus 4 equal to 0. So we will have x is equal to minus 2 or x is equal to 4. So these are the two zeros. So this should be option number B, right? Next one. The highway overpass is represented graphically. The zeros of the polynomial can be expressed graphically. Number of zeros of the polynomial is equal to the number of points where the graph intersects. You have to choose one of these options. Now, in your NCRT also, we have a few questions. In the first exercise, we discussed in one of the videos also that if you have a graph like this, say if I have a graph like this, for example, right? So all these values where the graph meets x-axis, because for zeros, if you look at the previous question also, we had substituted the polynomial equal to 0. That means if I take y equal to a quadratic polynomial ax square plus bx plus c, because this is how you'll get the graph, na? You'll keep substituting the values of x, you will get corresponding values of y. Okay, so now for zeros of this polynomial, we have to put it equal to 0. Putting it equal to 0 means we are putting y equal to 0. And where do you get y? You get y equal to 0 at x-axis. So all these points where the graph meets x-axis should be giving you the zeros. And the number of points the graph meets x-axis should give you the number of zeros of the polynomial. See, the graph of a quadratic polynomial is, we have just discussed, is a parabola. Whenever we have a quadratic polynomial, It can be, ABC can have any values, but if you have y equal to ax square plus bx plus c, or if we are talking about a polynomial right now, so if I write it as px is equal to ax square plus bx plus c, if you'll plot it, you will always get a parabolic shape of the graph. The representation of highway underpass whose 10 is 6 and the sum of the zeros is 0. Okay, so let the zeros be 1 is 6 given to us, 6 and alpha. Okay, and what is given to us? That the sum of 6 plus alpha should be equal to 0. So alpha will automatically be minus 6. That means my two zeros are 6 and minus 6. So if I want to make the quadratic polynomial, I will get x minus 6 as one factor and x plus 6 as the other factor. So product of these two should give us the polynomial, which will be x square minus 36. And also, this is the right answer. Also, here I want to add that when sum of the zeros is 0, because according to a relationship we do, sum of zeros, just I want to add a little extra here. Sum of zeros we know according to the relationship is minus b upon a. If this is equal to 0 implies b equal to 0. That means the linear term, coefficient of x is 0 in the quadratic polynomial. So here x square minus 36, you do not have the x term here, right? The next one, the number of zeros that the polynomial this can have. So if we put it x minus 2, number of zeros, we can actually find the zeros, put it equal to 0, right? Just don't answer by looking at this one that this is going to be a quadratic polynomial, so that's why it will have two zeros. The question has a little trick. Put it equal to 0, you will get x minus 2 whole square is equal to minus 4. Square of something cannot be negative. So that's why we have no real root case here. So we have, when you talk about the zeros here, number of zeros in the real plane, they should be 0. Even if you think that on expanding this thing, I can further explain x square plus 4 minus 4x plus 4 equal to 0 will imply x square minus 4x plus 8 equal to 0. Let's find out the discriminant here. The discriminant should be b square minus 4ac. So b square will be 16 minus 4 multiplied by 8. So we have, if you'll see, we have 16 minus 32, which is less than 0, which is negative minus 16, right? So no real root case. That's why we will say that it has 0 number of zeros, right? So we go to the next one now, students. The next case study question is, a stopwatch was used to find the time that it took to a group of students to run 100 meters, right? And the data is given to us. It's a normal standard statistics question. So you people don't need to just worried about these case study questions. They are the normal questions based on the concepts you have been doing in class. Okay, so the first question they have asked here is, estimate the mean time taken by a student to finish the race. I have made the data here. So how do? We take the midpoints here. So this will be 10, this will be 30, this will be 50, then 70, then 90. Then if I take the product, I'll have 80 here, I'll have 300 here. Let me write this one properly. So this will be 80, this will be 650, this will be 7 into 6, 42, so 420, this will be 270. And if I add them here, beta, we will get ultimately 0, then 13 and 2, 15 and 7, 22, 2, 5, 5 and 6, 11, 11 and 6. We'll have 1720 as the sum. And what is the sum of FIs? We will need that also. So we have here 18, then 21, 31, 31 and 9, 40. So simple formula for mean x bar is equal to summation xi fi I equal to 1 to n. In this case, it is just 5. okay, upon summation fi I equal to 1 to 5. The values we have already calculated, 1720 upon 40, which on cancellation will give you 4 here and 1243. So 43 should be the answer. A little small point I'll add here, that why are we calling it as estimate the mean? Because we have assumed that all these 8 students here, for example, all these 8 students here have the time 10 seconds. According to the data, these 8 students, for example, lie between 0 to 20, right? All these 8 students will probably have different timings from 0 to 20 seconds, but we have assumed that all are taking 10 seconds. Similarly, all these 10 students will take time between 20 to 40 seconds, but we have assumed that they are all taking 30 seconds. So we are doing small little assumptions there. So that's why we call estimate the mean, because you do not have any other way to find out the exact mean in this kind of data. We go further to the next question. What will be the upper limit of the model class? What should be the model class, beta? The class with the maximum frequency. Maximum frequency, if we see, is this one, 13, right? So 40 to 60 is the model class, right? So now the question is, what is the upper limit of the model class? So that should be 60. The next one, construction of cumulative frequency table is useful in determining the median. We know that cumulative frequency table you construct it to find out the middle values in a group data. So we find out median with that. Next one, the sum of the lower limit of median class and the model class is. So we already know, we have discussed that this one is the median class. Model class. We have already discussed this. This one is the model class. Now let's look for the median class. So I have already made this extra space for this one. So if I start here, the cumulative frequency, I hope you all understand, we keep on adding these values. That is what you mean by cumulative frequency. So this is 18, then 21, 31, then we have 37, and then 340. So we have n equal to 40, right? So that means n by 2, you can say this is even. So n by 2 is 20, or if we just look at the middle terms, we will have the middle terms will be n by 2th term and n by 2 plus 1th term, right? That means they will be the 20th term and the 21st term, right? Which are, according to the data, if we look at now, see, you have from 20 to 40, you have 18 terms in all, including 0 to 20, these 8 terms, and 20 to 40, 10 terms. So till 40, you have total 18 terms. So the next 19th to 31st term are in this class 40 to 60. So 20th and 21st term should be ideally lying in this class only. So this will be the median class also. Right, so if I write it here, the 20th term will be lying, 20 and 21st term will be lying in 40 to 60. Okay, this is the median class. Now lower limits. The lower limit of both of these is 40. 40 plus 80, the sum will be 40 plus 40, the sum will be 80. Next one, how many students have finished the race within 1 minute? Within 1 minute, so all these students have finished the race within 1 minute. So they are in all 18 plus 13, 31 students. Thank you, students.
Thank you for watching, students. In case you have any queries, please get back to us on the given email ID.